Okay, great. So we have 4 more class meetings left. So obviously today is the 8th, and we have the 10th, and we have the 15th, and we have the 17th. Okay. So today we're going to wrap up 4.4, and of course review homework number 21. On Thursday, we're going to do lots of derivative practice. So we'll probably do a combination of textbook problems and worksheet number 14. On the 15th, I can't give you that as a test on that day. So just so you know, the testing schedule looks like this. On the 15th, only A and C periods will test. On the 16th, only E and G will test. On the 17th, B and D will test. And on the 18th, only F will test. And just so you know, it's just going to be unit test, not a final. So I can't really assess on like everything we've done the whole semester, only on what we've done recently. So obviously it's going to be on 4.3 and 4.4. So our test is going to be on the 17th, and I'm going to call it a small test, not a really big test. It'll be a small test on 4.3 and 4.4. Remember 4.3 was on inverses, 4.4 is on logs and exponentials. But of course, you still need to know all the old stuff. I mean, yeah, you need to know product rule and quotient rule, chain rule, and implicit. I mean, all those things still apply, but nothing that's totally unique to the previous units I can assess just on 4.3, 4.4. And it's going to be 5 multiple choice questions and 1 free response. Oops, for some reason that's not letting me write, so I'll do FR. And the free response will have 3 parts to it. I'm not going to make it worth as much, so it'll be 50 points total, so half of our previous tests. Our previous tests were all weighted to 100 points, so I'll be worth 50 points total. Time limit. Well, I'm going to make it so you can do it within 30 minutes of recommended time. So each multiple choice question should take about 3 minutes to do, and the free response may be about 15 minutes, just like the way the AP is done. So this means if you had double time or 50% extended time, you could do it all within the period, but you can use the whole period. So it'll be designed for that, but feel free to use the whole period. We'll probably maybe the first few minutes of that class of the 17th, we'll spend some time maybe just doing, answering the questions you guys may have, or do a little practice if you guys want. But then I would say probably, because we start class at 10:25, so around like 10:35 or 10:40 we'd start it, and then you'd have just the rest of the time to work on it. And just so you know, what we're going to do on the 15th. The 15th I'm calling kind of like a catch-up / makeup day. That's what I'm calling that. So, for example, if you want to do test corrections for any exam, or get points for missing homeworks, so any of that stuff, feel free to use that that time. You can ask me questions, stuff like that. I'm also going to put this as an assignment in Schoology too, at least the test corrections part. And you can do it for any exam. So like say, for example, you got 90%. Jesus, I won't let me run that part of the screen. So you got 9% on test number 1. So you, I'll give you back half the points you missed. So I'll give you back 5%. And the test corrections will be done in the form of a video. I'll actually put more details on this later today. I'll put it as actually a deliverable, as an assignment that's due on that day for you guys. Sorry, no, it won't be due that day. It'll actually be due on the 18th of, which is a Friday. And I'll probably make it due like late in the evening, like maybe 10 p.m. I mean, I hope you're not up that late, but you know, just so if you feel like you're a little overwhelmed, need a little some time to kind of get all that done, that's fine. Yeah, that's something anyone can do. You know, if you feel like you don't need to, like you already have like a solid day and it doesn't really help you that much, that's fine. Or if you want to do it, you can. But be done in the form of a video. And again, I'll have details about that in Schoology. And really what you're going to do is you're just going to, you go on Zoom if you want and share your screen, kind of explain, you know, pull up the PDF of your work, because, you know, you guys did scan your work to upload it. Or you could, if you want, you could get your cell phone out and kind of go over it. That's fine too. I will put the solutions up for all the tests as well. So you will have the solutions that you can look at. And if you want to talk to me first, use that catch-up makeup day. If you need to talk to me about like something you don't quite understand why you missed a point, I could see you in a breakout room. We can go over it quickly. But the 15th is really just an opportunity for you guys to kind of do that stuff. Now, if you don't have anything to make up, or you know, you don't want to make up any points, then feel free to just do more practice for our tests on the 17th. I'll have extra practice problems that I could suggest that you guys can do. The other thing we're going to do on the 15th is also discuss the second semester. I'll probably start by doing that because I do want to make sure there's some clarity on that. And obviously we're in session number 2. And actually there's a question in the chat. Let me see what questions are in the chat right now. Quizzes, no, I'm not going to do corrections on the quizzes because those are low stakes. The tests are actually going to be more important. So no, I'm not going to do correction on quizzes, just tests only. We'll do Unit 3 tests before we do. Oh yes, yes, I do need to finish correcting Unit 3 as well. I'm actually almost done with it. Some of you guys that haven't graded Unit 3 yet, yes, that will be done by later today. And so you should, yes, obviously you need to see that. So yes, I'll have that, and then you can, because you'll know where you missed your points, and then I'll have the solution key up as well, and you can then, you know, figure out where you missed points, and then of course ask me if you have any questions. But yes, I do need to put that up. My apologies. And for all the grades, I think I've updated all the homework grades and the discussions. But I'm still kind of going through, I still need to kind of just go through one more time, make sure I've audited all the grades. Any homeworks that you did not turn in and we've already passed that unit, I made it 2.5 out of 0, sorry, 2.5 out of 5. We can't give zeros on anything. That's kind of our new policy now. But I'm more than happy to update that 2.5 to say 4 out of 5. If you want to make up some homeworks, and if it does make a difference in your overall grade, more than happy to give you those points back. So as for discussions, the train's kind of left the station on that now. You know, it was really at that in the moment that you want to be contributing to discussions. It kind of defeats the purpose. But I really wouldn't worry so much about that. It's really minimal points. I think really it's the test corrections where you're going to really get most of your points back. But anyway, discussing second semester, we do need to do that on the 15th as well, like how the second semester is going to look. Because obviously I don't see you guys in January. And there'll probably some things I want you guys to do, or I encourage you guys to do in January, just to stay fresh with the material. And then we'll, you know, kind of pick things where we left. We'll pick up things where we left off in December. We'll start with 5.1, And we're not going to be able to cover all chapter 5, so I'm going to, tell you like what exactly we're going to be covering in the second semester. Then when we're done with the second session of the second semester, and then you don't take the AP for another 2 months or so, I'll talk about things you can do to stay fresh with the material, and also some extra topics that you might have to learn independently. But I'll be available to see you guys on that block of time we have on Wednesdays that was discussed yesterday during assembly by our administrators. There's a little bit of an hour and a half, I think, on Wednesday mornings that could be a good time for AP review. I'll be available during those times if you guys want to talk to me. But yeah, there'll definitely be some things I'll have you guys do after our second session's over, and then there'll be review days in April and stuff like that that will get you guys prepared for. So anyway, so that's basically the plan for the next 2 weeks. So we'll kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, even though it's still a fairly dark tunnel. But yeah, that's what we got going on. So anyway, any questions about this game plan here? Oh, another thing too, I forgot to mention, we are gonna have a homework assignment due this Wednesday. I just put up in school just textbook problems, so homework number 22. Due the 10th, and that'll be our last homework of 2020. And today's also the last day of new material also for 2020. So hopefully that all makes sense. Okay. So let me stop that recording.